Hello and welcome back to my studio. My name is Sophie and we're going to be making a zero waste market bag like this one. You can follow this tutorial exactly or tailor it to the fabrics that you have at home. We'll be learning sewing techniques such as bagging out, lining and boxing a corner. I'd love to see anything that you make, so please follow me on social media and link me to any photos of your designs. Zero waste fashion is such a new and evolving design technique, and it means different things to different designers. I'm just going to chuck up some photos of some of my favorite zero waste designers for you to check out. To me, zero waste fashion will often mean looking at a piece of fabric and seeing how I can make it into something like a square bag or a kimono. I'll also use fabric manipulation techniques such as gather or pleating to shape it into a garment. I've made a few of these bags using different size fabrics in linens, cottons and hemp. I've put the pattern link in the description. Fold the fabric right side to right side. You can find the right side of linen by looking at the selvage. The wrong side will often have white cotton running along it. Measure down 12 centimeters from the folded end. Now line up your rulers along that point. Then rule a straight line across from one end to the other. This will be the bag's crossbody strap. Turn your fabric around so the selvage is furthest away from you. Now we need to find the center of the fabric. The best way to do this is to fold it in half and mark it with chalk. Rule a line straight down the middle. This will be your main bag and the lining. The fabric piece should look like this. I'm going to put a 1 centimeter seam allowance on all these pieces. Let's start with the crossbody bag strap. The strap will be approximately 10 centimeters wide and 86 centimeters in length. To draw perfect 1 centimeter seams, line up your pattern ruler with the chalk line. Do the same for the folded end. We will need to put 1 centimeter seam allowances around the bag pieces too. At this point, you can start marking what the pieces are and other info like side seams, top, bottom. These are our side seams. This will be the bottom of our lining pattern piece of the bag. So remember to mark in the gap we're going to leave for bagging the bag in and out. About 15 centimeters at the bottom. Make sure to cut the pattern correctly. Look for the line that you're going to cut along. Double check. Now cut the bag and lining, looking for the correct line down the middle. You should have 3 pieces: strap, lining and bag main. Mark the right side of each piece with a pin so you don't get mixed up. Let's attach some inside pockets. Because I don't have any fabric left over to make pockets with, I've made some out of this scrap fabric. You will need the lining piece and 2 prepped pockets of whatever size you like. Double roll the hem on all sides if you don't have an overlocker. Then sew the top hem down like so. This will be the top of your pocket. Open up the lining to the right side. Remember, the bottom of the lining will be in the center. Place the wrong side of the pocket to the right side of the fabric and line it up. I like my pocket to be a little closer to the top. If you want it perfect, check the measurements. Now repeat for the other side. I'm going to edge stitch these on with some black thread. Always back tack at the start of your pocket. Snip off any threads. Now we are going to sew the bag pieces. Let's start with the lining. Place the 2 pocket sides together. You will need to remember to leave a gap at the bottom of the bag to turn the bag out once we've sewn them together. We're going to start at the top right hand corner and sew a 1 centimeter seam. Once you get to the gap, remember to back tack. Do the same at the other end of the gap. You should have 2 pieces sewn together now that look like this, one with a gap at the end. In this section, I'm going to show you how to box a corner like this. Make sure the bag piece is inside out. Then reach into a bottom corner and align the two bottom seam and side seam like so. You can check that the seams are lined up by sticking a pin through. Just lining it up like that. Pretty close. Measure up the desired amount. Because I'm going to make my corners about 10 centimeters, as I want quite a wide base on my bag, I'm going to measure up 5 centimeters. Then mark. And roll a line across. Stitch along the line. Repeat this 3 more times. This is very simple. We just sew 1 centimeter seams on either side, then pull it through. Now that you've pulled it through and ironed it, I like to give the strap a 1 centimeter decorative stitch on either side. A lining, a main, and a strap. Pin the strap onto the right side of the main bag. Find the center. We're going to sew a 0.5 centimeter stitch along the main and the strap. This will hold the strap in place while we're sewing it all together. Should look like this. Turn the lining inside out. Then put the main and the strap inside the lining. Line it up at the seams. So essentially, you should have right side of the main, your strap attached, and right side of your lining all facing each other, and then just pin. Now we're going to sew this bag together with a 1 centimeter seam all around. Now for the fun bit. We pull the whole bag through this little gap that we left in the lining. In order to stop the lining from rolling to the outside of the bag, we need to understitch on this side. along here. I'll take you to the sewing machine and show you. Thread the bag onto the sewing machine through the gap. Lining it up to the seam. You want to sew the entire seam allowance inside here to the lining. So make sure it's all pushed over to one side, or pushed over to the lining side. Now, drop the sewing machine foot and line up the needle. We want about 2 millimeters from the edge there. We gently sew along here, pulling it apart as we go, and making sure that all the seams will be pushed over to the lining side and will be attached to that side. Reach in here if you like and check as you go. This is a slow job, and you just pull the fabric apart at the seam just a little bit there, and so making sure that all the seams are over to the right side. Might make a mistake and need to unpick. That's okay. This is a very difficult technique. Let's have a closer look at this. You should have understitched just along there. This is the inside view. All the seams should have been sewn, pushed over to the lining side. And now you can see how it's sitting. The lining won't roll to the outside of the bag. If you want to see more of these videos, please comment, like and subscribe. Thank you.